All right, I have Juicy J, Julian Erosa back on the show now. Is coming off a huge win over Steven Peterson this past Saturday at UFC Vegas 47. Julian, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on again, Ryan.
Yeah, it's great to talk to you. And we were talking a little bit before we went live here. 5 checks in a weekend. That's not so bad. How are you feeling? And I'm sure the bank account's looking a lot nicer.
Yeah, man. I feel great. Obviously it was a great outcome for me. Not only just the like financial thing, but just winning the fight. I'm still on a roll. 4 out of my last 5 UFC fights are wins. And I'm beating these guys, but not just like regular beating these guys. I mean, we're having great fights. I'm being able to put on fan favorite fights and collecting bonuses as well. So that makes me feel like everybody's really enjoying my fights.
And Ocho came to brawl, man. This was not an easy fight. It was very close. Did you expect it to be as hard as it was?
Well, if you wanted to know my game plan in the fight, if you watched the first round, that was my game plan. Kind of pick him apart. I busted him up early on. I think I broke his nose, or his nose was busted. He was bleeding out of his nose pretty profusely in the first round. I was pressuring him, was getting the better of him, and I thought I won that first round hands down. And I thought that's how the fight was going to go. I thought it was inevitable that I was going to end up finishing him in the second or third round. But like you said, Ocho came to fight. He's tough. He's durable, and I wouldn't say I underestimated his tough and durability because I knew he was going to be tough and durable, but I was underestimating him after the first round because I was like, oh, that was a walk in the park. First round, under my belt, I felt like everything was going great, and then he just somehow got not tired and just not hurt, and he was just like pressing forward, and maybe he's a little bit of a slow starter or something, but he definitely came to brawl, and he definitely amped it up in the second and the third round.
So moving into round three, I think it's safe to say that it was probably 1-1 going into the third round. What did your team, what did your coaches tell you to go out there and execute? And how did you feel you did in the third round? Because even that round was close.
Yeah, yeah. In between the first and second round, my coaches were like, "All right, everything's going good. Let's keep that going." They were giving me a little pointers here and there. But in between the second and third, they knew that the fight was close. It was like probably 1-1, and then I needed to solidify that fight with a third round victory. And so I remember my coaches saying, "Let's get him to the ground. Whatever it is, let's get him to the ground." And so the fight was really close, or that third round was really close. I landed that spinning back fist and hurt him, but he had me hurt too. Actually, that might have been in the second round, but regardless, the that third round was really close, and I just remember them saying, "Get him to the ground." So, being able to take him down towards the end of the round and solidify a little bit of that top game, and a little bit of ground and pound. I landed an elbow as well and kind of busted him open even more. Tried a flying kick or flying knee right at the end, a spinning heel kick, and then a front rolling thunder. So I think just adding all that at the end just really went to show that I was going for it. And so I was hoping that at least that last couple takedowns and a little bit of the flurries at the end was going to give me the win, and sure enough, it did.
So how confident did you feel before the judges rendered their decision? And I feel like a broken record. Anytime I interview a fighter nowadays, if it goes to the judges and it's a close fight, like I got to ask the question because you just never really know what the judges are looking for. But did you guys feel that it was clear cut that you were going to win 2 rounds to 1?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was 29-28, but you never know with the judges, and that's why like the entire time I'm not thinking about judges. I'm always thinking about finishing the fight, and so I did my best, and I did my damnedest to get him out of there before 15 minutes. But he's tough, he's durable, and I think he was thinking the same thing about me. So um, for me, when we got to the decision, the judges scorecard, we were standing there. I kind of take everybody's facial expressions. And their demeanors into my inventory. And so, even his side, the way they were like congratulating me, almost felt like they thought I won too. So I was pretty confident that I was going to get the nod. But it's a little bit disheartening when it's a split decision. They read their name first. So that was a little bit stressful, but I just believed in my heart that I won that fight, and when they were calling it out, I just had to hold in tough and just hope that they gave it to me, and sure enough, they did.
Well, congratulations on the win, man. A huge, huge win. I know you and your team have got to be ecstatic. And I think the question that a lot of people would like to know is, there was clearly some trash talk prior to. I don't know if it was just some gamesmanship or to hype the fight up or what, but you guys went in there and put on a show. Is a rematch on tap? Is that something that you guys, have talked about, or do you feel like it's water under the bridge? You guys are cool now, and you're just going to move forward and fight whoever the UFC matches you with next?
Yeah, the whole thing with the animosity we had before was I was trying to get a fight after I lost to Troy, and he called out Nate Landwehr, and Nate Landwehr got booked up. So I figured, hey man, maybe Peterson will fight me. And so I DM'd him, and I was nice about it, and he ignored me. And then I posted on my Instagram, he ignored me again. So I was like, well, if he's not gonna pay attention to me, maybe I'll fucking chirp at him a little bit and give him a little bit of something to answer me back on instead of being nice. And so uh I had posted some things and I had, commented on his stories to try to get him to talk back to me or just maybe accept the fight. But then I got the Jourdain fight short notice, and then I actually forgot about the fight. And then my manager messaged me after the Jourdain fight, maybe about 4 weeks, and said that we got the Peterson fight. So I was pumped about that. And it's a little bit ironic too because I about 6 weeks before the fight, I trolled him and said, hey man, don't miss weight, because he had posted on his story about a like a food prep company he was eating that he was sponsored by, and he was eating their meal. I was like, just show up and make weight, bro. And he's all like, oh, you sure like to talk shit. And that was the first time he actually responded to like 5 or 6 things I had messaged him to. And I trolled him a little bit about his weight, and me and my wife had talked about it. And I was all like, you think he's still gonna come in and not make weight? And she's like, there's no fucking way he does that. And sure enough, he shows up, only got to miss weight after I trolled him about it. So, that was a bit weird and, almost a little bit disrespectful, because it's like, not only did he miss weight in the last fight, but I actually trolled him about it. And uh, so I was like, that was the whole animosity thing that we had going on into the fight. And then, he was even kind of talking shit at weigh-ins, even though he was the one who missed weight, and that, the only thing he should have said was thank you and sorry, thank you for taking the fight and sorry that he had missed weight. And so there's a little bit of a, animosity leading into the fight. But after the first round, after punching people, getting punched in the face and punching someone else in the face, you build a little bit of a rapport and a respect between fighters. And so I think that's what happened. And after the first round, it was water under the bridge. And now, we've had we've messaged each other back and forth, and everything's all good now. We have nothing but respect for each other. And, I'm just happy that he was my opponent, because, some guys wouldn't have been as tough as he was to hold in for the 3 rounds and make an epic fight like that. Because even if I would have lost, we would have got fight of the night. So, it was worth it all around, no matter what. And I just really enjoyed that fight. And if he wanted to run it back again, I'd have no problem. That shit was fucking fun. But as of right now, I got a win over him, and it was a great fight. So, I'm cool with keeping it like that. But also, if you wanted to run it back again, I would have no problem doing that too.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you diving into all of that and explaining it as clearly as you did. So thank you there, Julian. So as far as, what you're going to do now moving forward, now that you got all that money, are you just going to bank it? Are you going to go out and buy yourself something nice? Like what's the plan there?
Drugs, lots of drugs, baby. No, I'm joking. I'm not a guy who spends money on frivolous things. Even if I have money in my bank account, me and my wife try to really focus on our future and really focus on what we have ahead of us. And so we try to live like we have no money in the bank, because there was a time we had no money in the bank, before the Sean Woodson fight. So, a little over a year and a half ago is when I fought Sean Woodson and got a bonus. But before that, we were, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, chasing the dream out in Las Vegas. I was an Uber driver trying to make ends meet. My wife was working as an esthetician, so she still does. But we had no money in the bank. We were negative in the bank. So, we try to keep that same mentality and try to keep that same hunger. For me, what drove me the most to really, just overdo, my workouts and my cardio and stay ready, even when I wasn't signed to the UFC, was because of, having no money, having that hunger to really succeed and strive and become a successful UFC fighter. So you can't forget those roots. And so for me, you won't see me in a Hummer. You won't see me in a Camaro. I drive a 2018 Toyota Camry. It's got 50,000 miles on it, and that's about as new as it's gonna get. Me and my wife were talking about maybe getting maybe looking at other cars, but as of right now, that's kind of how it is, and that's how I feel about it. I won't go spend money on a bunch of jewelry and stuff. That's not how it is. That's not what got me here. So I don't need to get those things to get me further.
Okay, you're a smart man. Bank it and look towards the future. Okay, very, very well done. So, any injuries that are going to hamper you from getting back to training? Are you feeling 100%? Like, what is the future as far as you stepping back into the octagon? Can you give me a time frame of when that could be?
Yeah, obviously, after that fight, I walked away. Felt like I got in a little bit of a car crash. But that comes with the territory. But any major injuries, I have nothing really to complain about. Actually, even right now, I feel like all my muscles are kind of recovering, and I feel like I'm almost back to where I was before the fight. So that's good. But the UFC books out pretty far, so especially as of recently. So I'm hoping to fight maybe May or June. I mean, physically I could probably fight earlier than that, but I don't need to rush into anything. Just getting a double bonus was amazing, and so I can kind of take my time and really kind of evaluate who I want to fight, when I want to fight, and go from there. But I'm hoping to get being healthy. I'm hoping to get at least 3, maybe 4 fights this year.
Is there a name that comes to mind, or are you just kind of pumping the brakes, not even calling anyone out at this point?
Yeah, usually during my fight camps and stuff, February 5th for me was the last day of my life. That's the only thing I'm focused on. So after that is when I can start thinking about people. I always thought Alex Caceres would be a fun one. He's already booked up though, so who knows about that. Dawodu fought the night that I fought. He won his fight. So just timeline. Maybe we could get in there as well. But nothing specific, and I'm not calling these guys out by any means. I'm just saying, those might work. But for me, I need to sit down with my coaches and stuff and my management and see who sounds like a smart route for me to take. But honestly, for me, anybody like Steven Peterson, like the Nate Landwehr's, the Steven Petersons, these are the fights that I want. I fucking love that shit, and I take more pride in having those types of fights than I would for even a title fight, unless a title fight was that. But I just really enjoy running it hard with those guys and earning the respect of not only my opponent and his corner, but all the fighters who are watching, all the fighters on the roster. I feel like they all watched that fight and just were mind blown. So I just want to keep doing that.
Yeah, well, you clearly have a fan in me. That was one heck of a fight, brother, and it's always great to talk to you. Before I get you out of here, it's a big sports weekend, so I want to get a couple picks from you. I know we talked a little bit about Izzy and Whitaker in a previous interview, but give me your official pick for the middleweight title, and who's your Super Bowl pick? Who's going to win, the Rams or the Bengals?
Okay, so first and foremost, I'm gonna go with Izzy. I'm pretty sure I probably said his name earlier too, but and one of the main reasons why is I think Whitaker is a fucking tough dude, and he can win. Anybody can win on any given night, but it's just really tough when you step in the cage with someone who not only beat you but finished you. And so that mental warfare is there. Izzy's got the win over him, so Izzy's gonna have the confidence going in there. And Whitaker, even though he's got a lot of confidence, he's gonna have that in the back of his head that he got beat by him. So that's a really tough one to overcome, even at the highest level. So I got to go with Izzy on that one. And the Rams and the Bengals. Never been a Bengals fan. I don't even know how they even got here. And the Rams, we got Cooper Cup from my hometown from Yakima, Washington as well. So I always got to root for them. And it would be really nice to see a guy from my hometown be in the Super Bowl and win it and just kind of put us on the map again, or even more.
All right, I love it, Julian. Always great chatting, man. Plug your social media. Tell people where to follow you, and if there's anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, obviously just Facebook and Instagram. If you're trying to reach out to me or see the most updated part of what's going on in my life, it'll be my Instagram, Julian_Erosa. Don't get it confused with my old Instagram. I got hacked. And then obviously all my friends, family, training partners, coaches. I want to thank all of them for my fight because without them this wouldn't be possible. Also my management, Jason House, Iridium Sports Agency. Without them, I wouldn't be here. They're the ones who got me a short notice fight against Sean Woodson, and ever since then it's been nothing but smooth sailing. But yeah, if you want to reach out to me, my Instagram is the best way to go.